I hid my biggest secret from my Roblox best friend for almost a year, and the worst part is, she was the only person I really trusted. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm not exaggerating. I'm 13. I don't have a huge friend group. I don't go to a lot of parties. I'm not that kid everyone knows. I'm the kid who sits in the back, keeps their head down, and goes home as soon as the bell rings. But when I get home, I open my laptop, log into Roblox, and suddenly I'm not that kid anymore. On Roblox, I'm funny, loud, brave. I play the trendiest games, crack jokes, make fun of myself, and stay up way too late grinding levels and role-playing ridiculous stories. And the person who knows that version of me best is my Roblox best friend. Let's call her Luna. I met Luna in a random game almost 2 years ago. We were both terrible at the obby we were playing. Everyone else speedrun through, and we kept falling on the same jump over and over. Instead of rage quitting, we just started laughing about it in chat. New record, she typed. I fell before the first checkpoint. That has to be illegal. Pretty sure they'll ban us for being this bad, I replied. Somehow, we added each other, joined another game, and then another. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. It was like we just synced. Same sense of humor, same favorite games, same I hate calling people but will talk for hours in chat energy. If someone looked at my friends list, they'd just see a username. But to me, she became my person. There was one thing I didn't tell her, though. My biggest secret. I like girls. Even typing that feels like I'm saying something dangerous, even though I know it shouldn't be. I figured it out slowly, in that weird way where everything clicks and you kind of wish it didn't. I'd watch my friends at school talk about crushes on boys, and I'd nod along and pretend I felt the same. I'd scroll through social media and feel that twist in my stomach when I saw a pretty girl with cool hair or a cute smile. I kept convincing myself it was just admiration. It was. By the time I met Luna, I already kind of knew. I just wasn't ready to put it into words. Definitely not out loud. Definitely not to anyone in my real life. So I made a deal with myself. I'll just be the funny, supportive, normal friend. I don't need to talk about crushes. I don't need to talk about any of that. We can just talk about games and stupid stuff, and I can avoid it forever. Except I didn't expect to like Luna so much. At first, it was just friendship. I swear it was. But the more we played together, the more I caught myself smiling at my screen when she joined. The more I checked if she was online the second I woke up. The more I felt my phone buzz and secretly hoped it was her DM. I'm not proud of how jealous I got either. She'd talk about her friends from school, the ones she hangs out with in real life. The ones she goes to the mall with. The ones who get to sit next to her in actual classrooms instead of just avatars in a blocky game. I'd listen and type, OMG, that sounds fun. But in my head, I'd think, I wish I could be there too. I was jealous of people I'd never met, people who probably didn't even know I exist. Then it got worse. One night, we were in a game together, just messing around. She was more quiet than usual. Her messages were slower, and she kept typing and deleting. Finally, she wrote, "Can I tell you something kind of personal?" My stomach dropped. I remember I literally sat up straighter in my chair. "Yeah, of course," I typed. "You can always tell me anything." There was a pause, longer than usual. I watched the typing, bubble pop up and disappear again and again. Then she sent, "I think I might like someone." I tried to play it cool. "Ooh," I replied, "who is it?" She didn't answer right away. I could feel my heart beating faster, which is stupid because it was just a chat box on a screen. She finally wrote, "It's this girl in my class. She's really sweet. I don't know. I've never felt like this before and I'm scared to tell my friends in real life. You're the first person I've told." I just stared at that message. It was like my brain split in two. Part of me was like, oh, so she likes girls too. And the other part was just frozen in shock because I'd spent so long being sure I was completely alone in that. I should have said something then. I should have said me too, actually. Or, I get it, I like girls. Instead, I chickened out. I sent, "Wow, that's a big deal. I'm really proud of you for telling me." Then I said what I always say to other people, but never to myself. "You deserve to like who you like." She sent a bunch of nervous emojis, and we talked about this girl from her class for a while. I asked what she was like, where they sit, and how they met. I typed smiley faces, hearts, jokes. And the whole time, I felt this weird, painful knot in my chest. I was happy for her, truly, but I was also jealous. Not of the girl she liked, exactly, more like jealous that she was brave enough to say it out loud to someone. To me. And I still couldn't say it back. After that night, my secret felt heavier. It was like walking around holding a glass of water. At first it seems easy, no big deal. But the longer you hold it, the more your arm starts to shake. The water doesn't get heavier, you just get more tired. I started dodging any conversation that might turn into, "What about your crushes?" Or, "Who do you like?" If she asked, I'd make something up. Some random guy from my class whose name I barely remembered, or a celebrity I didn't actually care about. I became that person who laughs and changes the subject. The person who lies, just a little, over and over. The thing is, lying to strangers online doesn't feel like a big deal. But lying to your best friend, even if they're pixels on a screen, that feels awful. There was this one night that still sticks in my mind. We were in a quiet game, just walking around and talking. No chaos, no challenges, just our avatars sitting on a bench under a fake Roblox sunset. Out of nowhere, she typed, "What's your biggest secret?" I actually stopped breathing for a second. I stared at the screen. The question just sat there, glowing at me. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, and I could feel that feeling in my chest again, like my heart was too big for my ribs. I typed, "I don't know, to be honest, I'm pretty boring." Then I deleted it. I typed, "I'll tell you if you tell me yours." Then I deleted that too. I thought about saying it, really saying it. "I like girls. I might even like you." Instead, I wrote, "My biggest secret is probably that I get lonely a lot, but I don't tell anyone because I don't want to seem clingy lol." It wasn't completely a lie, it just wasn't the whole truth. She responded, "To be honest, same." Then she added, "But you can always talk to me, you know that, right?" I read that line over and over. You can always talk to me. I believed it, I just didn't trust myself enough to actually do it. Months went by like that. We kept playing, we kept laughing, we kept sharing parts of our lives, school drama, family stuff, random stories. Every now and then, she'd mention that girl she liked or say things like, "I feel so weird lately," and I'd be right there, hyping her up, giving advice. Meanwhile, my secret kept getting heavier and heavier. Then one day, everything cracked. It wasn't even some huge dramatic moment. It was just a bad week. I'd had a rough day at school. Someone made a stupid comment about people like that when the topic of LGBTQ+ came up. They said it like a joke, like we're some kind of punchline. I kept my head down. I laughed along, even though my stomach felt like it was folding in on itself. That night, Luna messaged me. We got into a call, just voice this time. No cameras. We were both playing, but not really focusing. I guess we both had one of those days. At some point, she said, "Can I ask you something kinda serious?" My heart did that jump again. "Sure," I said. "Sometimes I feel like I'm telling you everything and you're still holding something back," she said quietly. "I know that's your right. I know you don't owe me anything, but it kinda hurts. I tell you all my embarrassing stories and crushes and fears. But when I ask about you, you joke it away. And I'm scared one day you'll just disappear." I didn't answer right away. I could hear her breathing softly on the other end. It wasn't angry, it was sad. And somehow that felt worse. "I don't want you to disappear," she added. "You're my best friend." There it was again. That word. Best friend. I swallowed, my voice came out small. "I'm not trying to hide from you," I said. I don't know how to say some things about myself, even in my own head. Saying them out loud feels like they become too real." She stayed quiet, but I could tell she was listening. "You don't have to tell me," she said softly. "But if it's something about you, something big, I promise I won't freak out or hate you for it. I literally couldn't. You could tell me you're actually a lizard and I'd be like, okay, king." I laughed at that in spite of myself, then I felt my eyes sting. I was so tired. Tired of pretending. tired of dodging questions, tired of carrying this heavy glass of water all by myself. So I took a breath and said the words I'd wanted to say for over a year. My biggest secret is that I like girls, I said. I'm pretty sure I'm not straight, and I've never said that out loud to anyone before. It was silent for a few seconds. And in those few seconds, my brain did that thing where it runs every possible worst-case scenario at once. She'd leave. She'd get weird. She'd say, oh, and never talk to me again. Tell people. She'd turn into one of those kids from school who laugh at people like that. What she actually did was sigh. Not in a bad way, more like a soft, relieved exhale. Okay, she said, thank you for telling me. My voice wobbled. You're not mad. Mad, she repeated. Why would I be mad? I don't know, I said honestly. Everyone at school makes it sound like the worst thing you can be, and then I lied to you for a long time. You weren't ready, she said. That's not the same as lying, and even if you did lie a little, I've told my share of half-truths too. You trusted me with this now. That matters more to me than what you couldn't say before. I wiped my eyes, even though she couldn't see me. And you don't think I'm gross? I asked quietly. Her voice went instantly firm. No, she said. I think you're brave. I think you're still the same person I've been laughing with for the last 2 years. I think, honestly, I'm kind of honored I get to be the first one you told. There was a long pause, the kind of pause that would feel awkward with anyone else, but with her, it just felt full. Then she added, more quietly, if it helps, I don't know exactly what I am either. I'm still figuring it out, but I know this, you're my best friend, and that doesn't change. I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. We kept talking that night, not just about who we liked or labels or any of that. We talked about fear, about secrets, about how sometimes the scariest things aren't monsters in a game or jump scares in a horror map, but the thoughts in your own head. We didn't solve everything in one call. Life doesn't work like that. I'm still figuring myself out. She is too. Some days I'm still scared. Some days I still hear those mean jokes from school echo in my head. But something changed that night. My biggest secret wasn't just mine anymore. It was ours. Shared, held, protected. I didn't lose my Roblox best friend. I got closer to her. Now when she says you can always talk to me, I actually believe it. And if you're listening to this, maybe hiding something big and heavy in your own chest, here's the part I want you to remember. You don't owe your secret to anyone. Not your classmates, not strangers, not even your best friend. You get to choose when and if you share it. But you also deserve people in your life who make it safe to tell the truth. People who don't turn you into a punchline, people who stay. Sometimes they're kids at your school. Sometimes they're someone on the other side of a screen with a silly username and a blocky avatar. Sometimes they're a Roblox best friend you met because you both kept failing the same jump. I hid my biggest secret from my Roblox best friend for a long time. Telling her was terrifying. But I'm still here, she's still here. And for the first time, I don't feel like I'm carrying that glass of water alone.